everybody, guys. Whoa. Welcome back. Welcome back. I always get excited when I come on here. But guys, it's like recently I always have a cold. I'm always like having stuffy nose. But anyways, yeah. Just a minute. Wait. Anyways, guys, today I'm here to talk about the many faces of sin, right? I do think that um there are a lot of things that we view as, sin, like stealing or like lust. And in today's world, it's mostly just fornication, anything that has got to do with fornication is viewed as sin, and other things are ignored. But I've come to the realization that these major sins, especially pride and lust, have like so many faces, and it's hard to identify them. You refusing to accept help, like I'm talking about pride now, you refusing to accept help, you thinking that you're independent and you can only trust yourself is a form of pride, because that's not how God made you. God made you to rely on God Himself. And God actually blesses people mostly through other people or with other people. And so you refusing help from everybody means that there's at least one person that God sent to you that you didn't allow to help you. And that means you're depending on your own self. Do you understand? And so pride and arrogance is not just uh you being cocky and obnoxious and like looking down on people. Sometimes it's just even in silence, even in your stubborn silence. Do you understand? That's also pride. When we talk about lust, personally, I'm someone that's like battling with lust on a daily. And when I say that, people think it's only just masturbation or fornication. No, it's also lusting after food. There's gluttony, right? I know people that have had issues with eating so much that they're so underweight now, and they have anorexia, and like they just have a very toxic relationship with food. And then there's also people like me closer to the other side, where you're dealing with obesity or even being overweight, or sometimes even morbid obesity, where your relationship with food is also thwarted. And so it's also lust. Do you understand? And there's lust after money, there's lust after relationships. Sometimes, personally, I have dealt with lust after my ideal self, like where I would want to be. Do you understand? And so I really always have to go back to God so that I can be grateful for where I am right now, so that I can relax and go through the process that God is taking me through. Because I need you to know that sin has many faces. The same way that someone angry is not just screaming out of anger. Sometimes they're like really sad. Just that they're just like pretty sad and they're taking it out on you. Sometimes they're really hurt and they're taking it out on you. So phenotypically, sin might look like A, but it has different roots and so many faces to all these roots. So today, I don't plan for it to be very long and it's going to be random, but I want you to, after watching this, to sit down in your own life and then try to identify areas in your life where you have dealt with sin, where you thought, oh, it was one thing, but you realized it was another thing. So that's how come jealousy isn't just jealousy, but jealousy comes from a feeling of inadequacy. Jealousy comes from a feeling of low self-worth. Because nobody is jealous of people that they actually genuinely feel like they're better than. Do you understand? And so, even if this person is richer and they're being envious or jealous of somebody else, it means they think that whatever it is that they are coveting, they don't have. Do you understand? And so, these sins have so many faces. Bullies aren't just bullies, there is an inadequacy in them. Do you understand? People that cheat don't just cheat. There's an inadequacy in them. That is not to condone all these sins, but it's just for, especially for those of us living in these sins, to recognize that it's not just an event, it's a pattern. The sins that you fall into, they're so rare. Like, it's so rare for you to just be living your life and walk into sin. What happens is that there's already a wound inside of you. Sins thrive on wounds that are hidden, wounds that are in silence. Do you understand? Like, in darkness. So, unless that wound is already there, that sin won't tempt you. That's how come if somebody's struggling with stealing, they will come and steal your money. But the person that's struggling with maybe alcohol credit might still need to go and buy alcohol, do you understand? But let's say even lust might not steal your money, right? But then on the other hand too, like I talked about the many faces, someone struggling with lust might come and steal your money. Someone who has stealing as a problem might come and steal your money. Someone who is envious might steal your money. Someone who is dealing with alcoholism might steal your money. Just because they want to feed these things, all these lusts. So on like face value, it looks like they're all thieves, but one wants to fulfill a sexual urge. One wants to drink alcohol. One might need drugs. One might also just steal your money to keep up a certain lifestyle that they can't afford. So it looks like the same thing, but it's different. That's how pride is. That's how anger is. That's how pain is. Everyone has how they express pain, how they deal with pain, and the patterns that they fall into after they encounter a painful situation. Do you understand? And I want you to know that as Christians, our aim is not only, the things that don't look desirable. For example, if you're angry and you're screaming and you're yelling, breaking things is undesirable. Like, it's an undesirable trait. People don't want to see that. People don't want to associate with that. But if you're angry and you don't say anything, but you keep it inside you, and then you start plotting evil for the person, because people can't see it. They think you're doing better because you didn't say anything. Hey, this person there, she's well behaved, or she's strong, or she didn't react, or but in your heart of hearts, you know that you're still very angry, right? And so that's also not good. So I want us to allow God, like, today after watching this video, just take your time, because I have realized that thinking I was battling with, just fornication and masturbation is also gluttony. It's also indiscipline. Like, lust is just everywhere in my life, and I wasn't even seeing it. So by asking God to help me expose these things, he exposed all these areas, right? But I had to go to God to ask him. So I need y'all to be very open and not be stubborn. Like, guys, stubbornness, it doesn't help you. Honestly. It does, unless, I don't know, unless you're fixing your face like a flint and you're doing the work God has called you to, stubbornness will never pay you. It it will not. It's like witchcraft, guys. It's not. Yeah. So allow God to see you and to show you who you really are. Some of you think you're the kindest people, but y'all are just evil and you don't even know it. Because the heart of man is desperately wicked. It's in the Bible, guys. And so I need y'all to allow God to show you these things. That the reason why you're hardworking is not because you genuinely want to be hardworking, but because you're a people pleaser. And that's not okay. So whilst hardworking looks like a nice and wonderful trait that like that's desirable, people pleasing isn't. Because if you're pleasing people, you're busy pleasing people, then you're not pleasing God. Do you understand? So it's not only your neighbor that's sleeping around, that's stuck in a dangerous pattern that has a stronghold in their life. For some of you, by the grace of God, you don't deal with sexual sin. But that doesn't mean there are no strongholds in your life. Now, in today's world, when you talk about people sinning, all they want to point to is sexual sins because it's crazy and it's hard and the battle is it's hard. But there's also unforgiveness. There's bitterness that shows up in many ways. There's anger. Do you understand? Resentment. All these things. If you're not able to share in people's joy, you're not able to mourn with people. Like if something bad happens to people, you're like, you don't even care. Like all these things are not good. That's not how God wants us to live. So guys, yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here because my nose is really blocked. Anyways, yes. Thank you all for watching. I really do hope that you're able to allow God to search your hearts and your minds and your spirits. Like, search you everywhere and then show you the dangerous patterns and the many faces of sin in your life. I'll see you on the next one. I love y'all to life. Bye.